Hello, hello, everybody. How are you doing this Friday evening? Well, it's evening in the East Coast. It's different times in other coasts, but I'm so glad that you all are here today. Tonight, I'm so used to my morning show. I'm so glad you're here tonight. We're going to be talking a good old movie, um, but I'm going to introduce my partner of crime, my peanut butter to my jam, my tomato soup to his grilled cheese sandwich, my steak, his steak to my potatoes. I'm trying to think some other things. His ice cream to my cone. I don't know. Here he is, the one, the only, Dadman Walking 55.
Hello,
Hello.
hello. How are you tonight?
I am doing fine, thank you.
Yeah, I'm actually typing on Twitter.
Oh, you're not going to say it. See,
I'm trying. Oh, I'm
I know
sorry. I
you
see. I
are.
can't type and talk together. But yes, I know you are. I know you are. But how are you? Sorry. Gosh.
I'm doing good. Let me
I
real
like I
quickly
always
here
say. I cannot
give my,
type and talk. I'm sorry, Missus.
let me go ahead and give me myself, give myself a like, I say, give myself a like, and let me go ahead and share this over in the various verses that I live in. We have we have the Twix verse, we have the Threadosphere, and we have, I call it Discordia.
Discordia. That's a cool name.
But there
That
is
is a
no
cool name.
discord in my Discordia.
Ah, yeah. No, not
So
having any of that.
no, we do not allow discord. So I'm going over here, posting it over here on the Twixverse. So let me go over to
Leave it
Threads.
that way to come up with a Mortal Kombat reference. So
Over, and I will look at it in a
yeah,
second.
yeah.
And here it is. Not an interesting post underneath what this one's going to be in the threads. And then let me go over to Discord real quick and toss it over on my channel. You're going to put it in Marks?
I've already done that. Yes.
Okay, so I will let you do this.
Yeah.
Oh, let me do a thumbs up here.
Hmm? What?
So
Hello?
I'm sorry, I was just posting. I had someone asked in my Discord if they were allowed to promote themselves and to promote yourself, and I just gave them a thumbs up.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
so yes. So we are done with that. So everybody, we are doing. We're going to say hello first to everybody. I almost forgot. I didn't really forget you guys, but I kind of did. I'm sorry. Oops. You know what? I got to go to the right thing. I was doing it on StreamYards. There we go. There, now I remember you all. Here we are. We have Snorterpoopers Cube Burr saying hello, Hoobits, and other critters. Hello there, Mr. Burr. I hope you are doing well today. We have Buddy Hepburn, and he says, welcome in, and please hit the like and subscribe buttons. We have some hellos. We have a Fallout Dave saying hello. I hope you are doing well. And Buddy Hepburn, I am more sleepy now than that I've eaten dinner. Yes, that will do it to you, will it not? So that is, oh no, I'm sorry. I got to move the channel. We have Siri Bot and Stream Elements over on the Twitch side. We have Agent Atwood, what's up? Watching the game. We'll be going back and forth. Absolutely. Hellos and hellos. Um, oh, yes, he's Johnny Cage to my Sonya.
Hey,
And what's the line
that's
that they
better.
say? Fatality. Is it fatality? What's
But
the
flawless victory.
flawless victory? And we have Finity, the timey wimey limey. Hello to you. I hope you are doing well today or tonight, actually. And I think that is everyone. So I think it is now time to start the show. And here we
Yay.
go. Our very first 12 movies at Christmas was Jingle All the Way. I gave it a 3 out of 10 Christmas trees, and Dadman gave it 8 out of 10 popcorn buckets. Okay, we're kind
The
of
best
learning.
Christmas movie
We're
of all
we're
time.
kind of
Sorry.
It says, Dadman's the Springer to you to your Arky, Mrs. Okay. He's dirty sneakers to your clean floor. And Finney says, it's a hot,
Yeah.
sunny afternoon here. Great football weather.
Yes. Yeah.
Wonderful. So that would kind of shows our taste in films right off the bat. And then we go to Gremlins, where I gave it an 8 out of 10, and Dadman gave it a 7 out of 10. And now we're going to do a Christmas Carol, which we're going to wait for to do this. And you know what? I messed up because
Uh-oh.
I put it in the wrong spot. So let me fix it so I don't, so that it will be correct. I just have to move one slide here, and then it will be correct. But I just want to make sure that, whoops, whoops,
Look, you there?
and I put it in the right spot. Yeah, you hear me? Sorry,
Okay.
it sounded like I was breaking up. Sorry
I'm
about that.
multitasking in the background, like you told me to
So,
earlier. Sorry.
I'm sorry for having to fix this. Let me go ahead and save this, and then I'll reopen it so that it'll be correct.
Well, I will say congratulations with 129 followers on Twitch. Make sure if you have a Twitch account, go over, follow the missus there, make her 130, get her higher on that Twitch side, and also if you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and get her to 500.
RC messed up my Transformer reference. Well, I don't know Transformers, so sorry.
Ah,
All I know is they're robots in disguise.
hey, can I tell you? Can I describe a meme to you that I saw real quick?
Sure.
It says the 4 stages of a man's life. One,
Okay.
you believe in Santa.
Uh-huh.
2, you don't believe in Santa.
Uh-huh.
3, you are Santa.
Uh-huh.
And 4, you look like Santa.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. That's very good. That's very good. Well, tonight we are watching Scrooge. It's some places it's billed as A Christmas Carol 1951, but the actual movie name is Scrooge. It is from Britain, and as you all know, it is an adaptation of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. It stars Alastair Sim as Ebenezer Scrooge, and what is very interesting is that you don't see her right away, but second billing is Miss Dilber, the charwoman, who was Kathleen Harrison. And I looked at some notes of stuff that said compares it to the source material, and this is from Wikipedia. It says in the film, Mrs. Dilber is the name of the charwoman, whereas in the book, the woman was unnamed and the laundress was named Mrs. Dilber. Dilber's role was greatly expanded into the film to the point where she receives second billing in the list of characters. So, throughout the film, we're going to talk about it. I'm going to show some slides. And when we get to certain characters, I will say who the actors are and any little changes in the source material that might be, and also some quotes that are related to that time. And also, if you have anything that you want to comment during the film, absolutely go ahead and do it. And we'll either star them until it gets up to that point, or we will read them at that time. So, Dadman, do you want me to put the chat up, or do you want to? Because only one of
I
us
will.
can do it.
Yeah, I will do it. I will do it.
Okay.
I did mean
Okay.
to with Captain Finney, though. I think he's talking about what we call soccer, the worldwide football here. But hey, as long as you got great weather, that's
I'll
awesome.
just say football, and I'll leave everybody to make their own
Yeah.
interpretation. So
Yep.
last night, the gremlins got into my computer and messed up the site where I got my slides. So
Oh,
I
did you
kind of
want to? I'm so sorry, Mrs. But did you want to tell everybody very briefly that what we did after our show last night?
Oh, yes, I said I was going to do this. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and take this down. We're going to talk about this for a minute. Okay, we watched after we did the Gremlins review. Y'all had all these opinions about Gremlins 2. So we went and watched Gremlins 2. Well, let me tell you, I didn't like it. I thought they made the Gremlins, they weren't, yes, they're mean. I mean, they kill people. I get it, but they just, to me, they were not very likable. I didn't like the design of them. I liked nothing about them. So the first 3 minutes into the film, or whenever they appeared, it was a little more than that. But I'm like, I don't like them. I don't, the other Gremlins. I kind of felt sad when they got exploded. I mean, it was it was a happy sad. I was sad that they got blew up. I was happy that they were gremlins and they were kind of cute, but I didn't find them that cute. Um,
Mm.
you know, I just did not like them. The movie was kind of, I don't know.
I see. I didn't remember it as fondly as I used to, though. That was what's weird. I don't know whether it's because I was tired, because I fell asleep during the movie.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
almost turned it off. I kept kind of fast forwarding through parts of it when he
yeah,
was snoring, to
yeah.
be honest with you.
I
I
wasn't
just
snoring.
did, yes, I just did not really care for the movie. I really enjoyed Gremlins, and I watch Gremlins every Christmas season now. I'll watch it Halloween. I'll watch it whenever I feel like it. But Gremlins 2, I don't have to watch it again. I just, their
No.
little message about messing with, because of, I mean, I'm going to assume that people have either watched it or are not going to watch it. Spoilers are coming. Um, when they got to the lab and they were drinking all the different potions, and I guess the kind of lesson of, not messing with nature and all that stuff was kind of
Mm-hmm.
heavy handed. Whereas in the first one, Mr. Wing just said, you do what you always do with nature. So you're not responsible enough, and leaves. And that's it. It's not this heavy handed, you know, kind of thing. And I just felt that was a little heavy-handed. If I rated Gremlins 1 8 out of 10 Christmas trees, I would rate Gremlins 2, being generous, um,
Mm-hmm. What?
2, 2 out of 10 Christmas trees.
I, I,
I truly didn't like it.
it was not. Like I said, it hit me completely different. I'd have to
Yeah,
rewatch it again.
when you're
Where
like
I was
away.
awake, yeah, because it didn't have the same effect and things like that. It was just different. But
I
anyway,
maybe, you know, the technology, I hated seeing, Gizmo walk. It looked so fake. I just hated that. You know, the whole, he's seen things he shouldn't have seen. I thought they were way, way too mean to Gizmo. I think they put way too much of that in there. I just think it got sadistic. And I just did not like that. The only thing I did like is them having all the different TV things, and every time they'd have someone come out, like, he's all in bandages and it's the safety show or
yeah,
something. That was really the only thing that I liked about it.
yeah, that was.
So,
I like the way they kind of clamp. It was the guy's name. I mean, obviously,
it was a
obviously rip
parody.
off. Yeah,
It was a
exactly.
parody of Donald Trump.
Yes.
So, but yeah, but I just didn't care for it. I'm so sorry for every person that does, that I have a differing opinion, but I respect your opinion, and you're allowed to watch it every day if you want to. Just don't ask me to. But Gremlins, I'd watch. Watch it over and over again.
Yeah, I know.
So, anyway, that was, what we did last night. Um, so,
Snort Putin
oh
saying to Atwood, he's startled, confused, amused, and tired. How are you? Well,
yeah,
wow, that's a combination of things. But hey, you're here with us. Thank you. Thank
yes.
you so
So
much.
now on to our. Thank you for reminding me about that, because I
Yeah,
remember saying that I was going to watch it and talk about it,
it
and
was worth the time, a couple minutes to take, because you were so uninspired, and
I
I was
I
uninspired by it. That's what got
uninspired
me.
is like a nice way to say it, honestly.
Listen, I'm the master of colorful, polite language. When I have to. That's how I keep from saying what I really want to say to people and really get in trouble.
I understand, I understand. So,
That was yeah, because I've had people accusing me of writing stuff and they thought you wrote it. That's so
yes,
funny. All right,
yes.
sorry.
Okay, that's okay. So, we're gonna now go into our show, which is, that we're actually reviewing tonight, which is Scrooge. It's adapted from Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. Um, it was it was released on November 28th, 1951. It had a running time of 1 hour and 27 minutes. And I think the running time was good. I don't think it really dragged, which sometimes novel adaptations can, especially older ones and classics. Um, so I think the hour and a half was a good running time. Once again, Alastair Sim was Ebenezer Scrooge.
Mm-hmm.
And Kathleen Harrison was was Mrs. Dilber, the charwoman. And Dadman, I told you something incorrect, and I will correct it
Oh, cool. Okay.
when we get to the point. Um,
No.
so off we go. We're going to talk about what this movie is, and I'm going to show slides as we do it. So I should just go ding and have you change them, but I can do it. Let me get it all
Okay.
set up here. Um, on Christmas Eve, and this is from Wikipedia. Wait,
Oh, wait.
Source
Here,
Group that
sort of.
says some weird human female is being weird on Tweety Bird. She keeps asking me how I'm doing, and now she wants a photo. I'm too old a bear for this, and besides, she's the wrong species. I tell you, either soft block that woman or block them.
No, there you go.
Hey, if you did a bracket of movies for next year, then how many would you want on said bracket? Well, I have to do it where they break down
Mm.
properly, so it'd have to be like in increments of
You don't want
eight,
to do.
right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. You don't. 12. You'd have to have a first round bye,
12,
like in the college
yeah.
football. You don't
So
want to
we
do
would have
that.
to do 8 or probably 16. So we just have to plan
Well,
for
you
it.
know what? If Tweety Bird, if this human female was interested, she would keep seeing your periodic post of the rubber human suit. You know. But anyway.
Okay, so here we go. Here we go. On Christmas Eve, Ebenezer Scrooge tells two businessmen, come on, change, tells two businessmen that he has no intention of celebrating Christmas. He refuses to donate to the two men collecting for the poor. His and here's a quote from that scene. Um, let me see. Yes, okay. He refused, and he goes. He says, I don't think it's on this scene. I think it's another one, but I'm gonna go. Well, we'll go ahead. Let me go. He refuses to give them any money. He meets this person on the street, which this scene was not in the book, where the man is owes him money and asks him to give him more time. So this was not in the book. This is Samuel Wilkins, who is in debt to Scrooge, was not in the book. So that kind of exemplifies his nastiness and meanness in the movie. And here are the guys that are at the business when he gets back, and they ask them, at this festive time of year, Mr. Scrooge, it is more than usually desirable that we should make some slight provisions for the poor and destitute. Are there no prisons? Plenty of prisons. And the union workhouses, are they still in operation? They are. I wish I could say they're not. Oh,
Yeah.
from what you said at first, I was afraid that something had happened to them in their useful course. I'm very glad to hear it. I don't think you quite understand us, sir. A few of us are endeavoring to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of warmth. Why? because it is at Christmas time that want is most keenly felt, and abundance rejoices. Now, what can I put you down for? Huh?
Yeah,
Nothing.
nothing.
You wish to be anonymous? I wish to be left alone. Since you ask me what I wish, sir, that is my answer. I help to support the establishments I have named. Those who are badly off must go there. Many cannot go there, and some would rather die.
Hmm.
This line, I forgot the last part, and this is, and then they should just die. So that was him meeting those. So that's our kind of really, introduction to this wonderful, kind hearted man, Ebenezer Scrooge. His nephew Fred invites him to dinner the next day, but Scrooge refuses. He is angry at Fred for having married a poor woman. So it is Christmas Eve. I'm trying to change the thing. It is Christmas Eve, and um, sorry, Bob Cratchit. I was going to say Bob Marley, but that's not that. Bob Cratchit asked, for the time off, and that he was played by Mervyn Jones. And Ebenezer Scrooge says, "You want the whole day off tomorrow, I suppose." If quite convenient, sir. It's not convenient, and it's not fair. If I stopped you half a crown for it, you'd think yourself ill used, wouldn't you? But you don't think me ill used if I pay a day's wages for no work. Hmm? 'Tis only once a year, sir. That's a poor excuse for picking a man's pockets every 25th of December. Yes, sir. I'm very sorry, sir, to cause so much inconvenience. It's the family more than me, sir. They put their hearts into Christmas, as it were, sir. Yes, and put their hands into my pockets, as it were. Sir, I suppose you'd better have the whole day, but be back earlier the next morning. I will indeed, sir. Thank you, sir. It's more than generous of you, sir. Yes, I know it is. You don't have to tell me.
See, I one thing with this movie, especially like in these intro scenes, is like I had to transition from George C. Scott. I'm sorry, he's Patton, he's Ebenezer Scrooge, but Alistair Sim, different delivery, not necessarily the gravelly voice. It was a bit different, like some of those lines, hearing
Hmm.
it from him, which was different,
I,
than,
I,
than
I
George C.
loved
Scott.
his. I loved Alastair Sim's facial expressions. I thought
Yeah,
his facial expressions were really good and they really matched. And I'm not comparing him to the other actors of Scrooge. I'm just when I'm doing this one, it is purely just on this movie. I'm not. There's no comparisons at all with
right.
this. And
Oh, hey, look
Stunning
who's
is
here.
coming back with Blueberry
Right.
Pie.
But we had the famous Lisa, who this is one
Hello,
of the
Lisa.
movies. I don't know if you remember, a long time ago, Lisa mentioned
Yeah,
this movie.
that's why I picked this one. I
All
picked
right,
this one because Lisa so strongly recommended it. So,
absolutely.
Lisa, any comments you like? And near the end, we're going to ask for favorite scenes or quotes if you have any. Um, yes. So, we're just kind of
Absolutely.
going through the movie, showing some quotes, as it were. Here we go.
Don't let her come to the squirrel streams, Snortopoopus. Anyway, sorry,
Oh,
I
she,
had to jump on that one.
yes. Know that we are nuts. So, let's see where are we at now. Scrooge then returns home and is visited by the ghost of his 7 years dead partner, Jacob Marley. And Jacob Marley was played by Michael Hordern
Mhm.
as this character, and the younger Jacob Marley was played by Patrick McNee. Does anybody know where Patrick McNee, what other stuff he's done? If you do, say it in the chat. I'm not going to say it yet. So yes, he is
Mhm.
met by Mervyn Jones. First sees him in the door knocker, and kind of thinks that maybe he's, you know, just having a
Mhm.
little. Yes, from the Avengers. You're correct, Snortopoopus. So then he sits down, hears all these noises, gets into his room, and Marley meets him. He warns Scrooge that he will be visited by three spirits, and that if he doesn't change his ways, or after death, he will forever walk the earth bound in chains as Marley does. And I love some of these chains. He says, "It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad among his fellow men. If it goes not forth in life, it is condemned to do so after death. It is it is doomed to wander through the world, and oh, woe is me, and witness what it cannot share, but might have shared on earth and turn to happiness." And
See,
he also
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, I just part of my brain is analytical, and part of it does compare and contrast by nature. And like this one with a ghost sitting down, a ghost sitting down was really an interesting concept that they would do it here, and then he did.
I
He sat
kind of
down.
think Scrooge kind of was like, "Yeah, you're not real," and he was kind of he was a little mocking when he said that. He says, "Well,
No,
if you have like if you're going to talk to me, then you at least must sit down." Thinking that he wanted or something. He's like, "Okay," and he sits down, and he's kind of like, "Oh, great," you know. this this hallucination is really really getting good here. Yeah, just kind of the
yeah.
look at his face. Even on this one, it's like, oh,
The
he is
brandy was
not.
really good tonight. Yeah,
Yes, thank you for going in lurk mode, Atwood.
yeah,
Have a good time.
yeah.
So,
Well,
and then
and the way they did the chains and the weights, I mean, they were not very visible, but I mean, they were shaded like the ghosts were. It was, but
well, it's very
those,
hard that it's a black and white
yeah,
movie, and the lighting, and because it's nighttime. Scrooge is a Scrooge. Oh, and I have another thing. When Scrooge came into the house, there was a
mhm.
candle burning at the foot of the stairs.
I know that drove you crazy.
And I'm going, no. Number one, Scrooge would not waste the candle by burning it, but having a candle burning in a house that's empty
Yeah,
is not safe anyway. So that bothered me. Um,
that
but
bothered you badly.
he was. I mean, he was dark. He was in a dark room, only the fireplace, um, and so it was kind of murky and things like that. And
Hmm.
and here I don't have a quote for it, but like he was saying, yeah, you're just like you're probably just like an undigested piece of meat. This is being caused by stomach problems. I just have indigestion. That's why I'm seeing you. You're not real. Um,
Hmm.
then one other scene that Marley says is, "I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it link by link and yard by yard. Gartered it on of my own free will, and by my own free will I wore it." And Ebenezer says, "You have my sympathy." He says, "Ah, you do not know the weight and length of strong chain you're bearing yourself. It was as full and as long as this 7 Christmases ago, and you have labored on it since, and it is a ponderous chain." And Ebenezer, "Are you the spirit who's coming?" Oh, wait, and says, it's a ponderous chain. So Cratchit warns them that the three ghosts are going to be coming along here.
Hmm.
And then he goes away. And Ebenezer goes into bed just saying, yeah, kind of, okay, I'm just going to go to sleep and wait till the morning goes over. And the first that will arrive at 1 o'clock in the morning, the first ghost. And who is our first ghost? Our first ghost is the ghost of Christmas past. Dun, dun, dun. And he arrives. And what would you say, Dad Man? What does he look like? He looks like old hippie.
I was about to say Raiden with the white hair. He just
Your
doesn't have
Dad
that
Man
hat.
goes, what's with his long hair?
Yeah, I was for the time for 1950s with a guy with that kind of long hair. It did kind of look
Yes. So
interesting.
the ghost of Christmas past. Let me find where the ghost of Christmas past comes, and the Ebenezer Scrooge says, "Are you the spirit who's coming, who foretold me, and of who was foretold to me?" Yeah, Pat. Yes, I am. And who and what are you? I am the ghost of Christmas past. Long past? No, your past. What is your business here? Your welfare. My welfare? Your reclamation, then. Take heed, rise, and walk with me. So here we're going to look at the past. get everything here in order. So he goes to the past, and the first place we see is Scrooge alone at school, unwanted by his father after his mother died in childbirth. His beloved sister Fran arrives to take him home, telling Ebenezer that their father has had a change of heart toward him. And young Ebenezer Scrooge is played by George Cole. The Ghost of Christmas Past is played by Michael J. Dolan. I didn't list all the other actors because nobody would know who
Mhm.
they were. His beloved sister Fan arrives to take him home, telling Ebenezer that their father has a change of heart toward him. The spirit shows Scrooge the annual Christmas party thrown by his former benevolent employer, S. Fezziwig. He watches the proposal to his sweetheart Alice, who accepts. He has shown how he is tempted to leave Fezziwig to join the business run by Mr. Jorkin, who's on the right. That's Mr. Fezziwig. He witnesses the death of Fan after giving birth to Fred and discovers he missed her last words asking him to look after her son.
Mm-hmm.
He joins Jorkin and meets Jacob Marley. Jorkin's firm buys Fezziwig's business, and Alice breaks her engagement to Scrooge because of his dedication to a guide, um, golden idol.
Oh gosh, Sashi's here. Sashi says, "I come in and immediately hear unwanted by his mother." Wait, what? This is a Christmas Story, 1951.
Well, he was
Featuring,
unwanted by his father after his mother died.
mm,
Um,
but
so,
welcome in.
so, and in the movie, she is known as Alice, but in the book, her name is Belle. I don't know why they changed that. And when we get to that one scene, we'll talk about that. Jorkin is found to have embezzled money
Mm-hmm.
um, from the now bankrupt company. Scrooge and Marley make good the missing funds on condition that they take control of the company. So I think that was a setup. I feel that was a setup. I think um, Jorgen, what's his name again? I can't.
Let's see the character.
All of a sudden,
I
I
just have
can't find
Mr.
his
I
name.
just have Mr. Jorkin.
Mr. Jorkin. I think they planned that, and so that they could take over the company because that they was just too smug during that whole little business meeting. Um, he
Yeah,
was like, he's like, yeah, okay, yeah, what are you going to do about it? And they're, you know, um, you want the shareholders to know that would just cause panic and crazy. And he knew. And then in swoops Ebenezer Scrooge and Marley, going, well, we'll buy 51%. We'll pay off his debt as we will have 51%, which is control of the company. They didn't really show um, the outcome, but you knew the outcome. And I think the three of them were in it together. It never was said, and that also was expanded from the movie. That was a role.
mm-hmm.
Mr. Jorkin actually was a role created for the film. He lured Scrooge away from his benevolent Mr. Fezziwig and introduced him to Jacob Marley. When Jorkin is discovered to be an embezzler, the opportunistic Scrooge and Marley offer to compensate the company's losses on the condition that they receive control of the company from which they work. And then so the company Scrooge and Marley is born. And that is not in the original book, or it is expanded. Um, So those are some of the different kind of things that were in the book. Then we have Miss Gilbert, Miss Dilber, the charwoman, coming in to tell. Um, let me find it. Um, Scrooge that Marley is dying, and Cratchit goes in there to say, sir, um, Marley is dying. They request you there. And he says, it's only 5:15. I will go there when business closes at 7. So Cratchit goes, Mr. Scrooge goes, I'm busy. Well, it's about Mr. Marley, sir. He's dying. Well, what do you want me to do about it? If he's dying, he's dying. I mean, he was Mr. Compassion there. And so he finally at 7 o'clock gets there, and he talks to Ebenezer. Ebenezer Scrooge talks to him on his deathbed, and he tries to warn Marley about.
Scrooge.
Marley tries to warn Scrooge um, about what is looking forward to him with his avarice, but he dies before um, he can get it all out to him. Um,
Honestly though, I just looking at the scene, I think Scrooge is the type that it wouldn't he did even if he got all the words out clearly, Scrooge wouldn't have believed it. I bet you.
Sonny says Scrooge is Ivan Drago's father. If he dies, he dies.
Yep,
And Sasha, you have a good day at work. Um,
absolutely. So,
Missed you this morning. I'm so glad to see you tonight.
yep, she was worried about you, Sashi. So good to see you tonight. So at this point in this movie, what are your thoughts about this? Or what are you thinking about this movie? We get the intro, we get their history, we get the backstory. What are you
I'm
thinking?
liking it. It's the pacing is good in it. Some older movies it drags. The music is obviously um, a little dated in the sense it's not very subtle. I mean, it's like, okay, we now must put happy music here, and now it's like, duh, suspenseful music. It's not very subtle,
Right.
but I can accept that in an older movie because that's kind of way they did. Got to remember, even though this is in the 50s, you know, orchestration was very very important with silent movies, and
Mm-hmm.
it was very um, big. And I think in some movies, especially I think with classics, they think they need to do that. So I'll be very interesting when we do the comparison next year of all the other ones with the ones that get earlier, closer to our time, how the music is handled in them.
Right.
But I
That,
thought that was interesting. But I thought the pacing, the acting is good. The Miss Dilber, the charwoman, she is actually Cockney. She's not faking it. And I just love the actors.
mm-hmm.
Um, Bob Cratchit plays a Mervyn Johns as Bob Cratchit is perfect as a timid um, clerk. Um,
Right.
just the characters are good. His nephew is over the top, happy and cheerful, and says, I don't care if you're going to be an ass to me. I am still going to wish you Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's. He kind of like pokes the bear because he loves his uncle in spite of him,
Yeah.
and he wants him to be happy. And I think his son, his nephew, knows he's not happy. Even if he has all this money, he's not happy. So I like the characters. None of them annoy me. Even all the little extra people they have, none of them annoyed me, and sometimes that happens. Um,
Right.
so here, Marley is trying to warn him that you need to change your ways, or it's not going to bode you well. And then um, the spirit reproaches Scrooge for taking Marley's money and house. As an ashamed Scrooge finds himself back into bed. So that is the ghost of Christmas past. And then we meet the ghost of Christmas present, who is played by Francis DeWolf. And here is the ghost of Christmas present. And let me tell you something. Is he like bare chested or is he wearing like something furry? I mean, I can't tell. They never. This is like the best picture I can see of it. Is he
Well,
kind? See, he
can you
kind of.
expand your screen though?
Well, I just really don't know. He kind of reminds me. What is that Greek? The Greek god, is it Bacchus? You
I
know,
think so.
of wine and
Of wine and
frivolity
yeah,
and
yeah. Lisa said bare chested. Hey, I knew
uh,
she would know that answer.
to me, he kind of reminds me of that of the god Bacchus. His celebration and partying and good times, which is kind of what he does. The He takes him to see how men of goodwill celebrate Christmas. He shows him poor miners singing Christmas carols joyfully, and he shows the Kratz's Christmas celebration on Christmas Day. Um, and
Oh, it's
Scrooge asks,
Dionysus. Sorry.
but it
He's known
is
by Bacchus by the Greeks, but he's also Dionysus.
okay.
So
So I
got
was
two
right.
names.
I
Yeah,
can't believe I remember. Gosh,
yeah.
name who we could not pronounce is probably really proud of me right this minute. I
Well,
actually
yeah.
remembered a Greek god.
Winemaking, orchards and fruit, vegetation, fertility, festivity, insanity,
Oh, like yeah,
ritual,
yeah,
ritual madness.
okay, we're gonna
Wow.
stop there. But I mean, he's festivity.
Yeah,
That's kind of. I think they were kind of drawing on that.
yeah.
Um, so anyway, he
So,
shows the Cratchits having their celebration dinner. Scrooge asks whether Tiny Tim, their deceived son, will survive his physical disabilities, and the spirit hints that he will not unless the future is changed. Um, and let's see. Oh, I forgot this quote,
okay.
but it's okay. Um, we have Tiny Tim who says the line, "Everybody, what's the famous line from A Christmas Carol?" I'll give you guys like 30 seconds to start typing it in. The most famous line,
Yep.
and it's said by Tommy Tin, Tiny Tim.
Yep.
God bless us, everyone.
Yes. There you
Yes,
go.
Lisa. God bless us, everyone.
Yep. Is that
I
line
do.
in the book? Do you know? I mean, is it carried over from the
I
book?
believe it is. I believe it
Okay.
is. I have got to read the introduction to the Ghost of Christmas Present when Scrooge hears him outside. He's hearing all this stuff, and he kind of peeks out the door, and the spirit of Christmas present says, come in, and know me better, man. I am the spirit of Christmas present. Look upon me. You've never seen the like of me before, have you? Never, and I wish the pleasure had been indefinitely postponed. So, is your heart still unmoved toward us then? I am too old and beyond hope. Go and redeem some younger, more promising creature, and leave me to keep Christmas in my own way. Mortal, we spirits of Christmas do not live only one day of our year. We live the whole 365. So it is true of the child born in Bethlehem. He does not live in men's hearts one day of the year, but in all days of the year. You have chosen not to seek him in your heart. Therefore, you will come with me and seek him in the hearts of men of goodwill. So that is how we are introduced to the ghost of Christmas past. So we meet the Cratchit family. Did I say, is it Cratchit? I always am so afraid I'm saying names wrong.
Are you on? Yeah, with Tiny Tim there. Your Christmas present or
That's Christmas present. This is
right?
Christmas this
Right.
year. And when he says to toast Ebenezer Scrooge, they're all like, no, we don't want to. Why should we do that? But Bob Cratchit is the one who is having to suffer under him,
Taking
says,
the high road.
yeah, he took the high road and said, we need to. And so they did. So I thought that was really good. And then they visit Fred's house. There was a Christmas party going on, and during the party, he toasts Scrooge, and his guests make critical remarks, and he defends him. And now this is a change in the movie. We have Alice, who is working in a poorhouse um, where she ministers to the sick and the homeless.
Mhm.
This did not happen in the book. It says that um, she's given an extra scene during the Ghost of Christmas Present sequence where she is not married and working at a shelter tending to the needs of the poor. But she became, in the book, happily married mother of several children. So a little change there in the book and the movie. I think this is a quite an effective change. Um, so
I thought it was good. The
I
only thing I did not like, they didn't tie up with her at the end, though.
well, this is her now, and this is
Yeah,
her life. I mean, he's
yeah, but
well,
we see how Scrooge interacted with his nephew and Cratchit. It would have been neat. I can't wait for him to go say hi to her since they threw this in. But
well, I kind of like that way because that's going to be his remorse. He lost the woman he loved. Whether he changed or not, in his mind, it's probably too late for that to happen, and so he will focus on, you know, the Cratchits, Tiny Tim, the the whole. At the end, the entire town benefits from his change. So,
mm-hmm.
oh, spoiler alert, he changes. Um, so that's one of the last scenes, and then the Ghost of Christmas Present shows reveals these two uh, emaciated children, and Ebenezer Scrooge asks who they are, and he tells them that they are ignorance.
mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, wait, I'll actually read the quotes from it. Spirit of Christmas Present says, my time with you is at an end, Ebenezer Scrooge. Will you profit from what I've shown you of the good in most men's hearts? And he goes, I don't know. How can I promise? If it's too hard a lesson for you to learn, then learn this lesson. And he reveals the two children, two starving children. And Ebenezer Scrooge is shocked and he says, Spirit, are these yours? And the Spirit of Christmas Present says, they are man's. This boy is ignorance. This girl is want. Beware of them both, but most of all, beware this boy. But have they no refuge, no resource? And then the Spirit of Christmas Present quotes Scrooge by saying, are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses? And Scrooge is just abhorred by those words being thrown at him. And then when he looks back, the Spirit of Christmas Present has disappeared, and he sees a hand beckoning him. And we now get to the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come.
That fancy looks like a pea. Hmm.
And there's a
Oh, can I
hand
say
that,
something real quick?
uh huh,
Because I thought this was a very interesting transition because you have Christmas Present right there out in the middle of the street. He kind of and Ebenezer kind of screams a bit and turns around, and it like just turns right into this scene. You see it down
he
the hall.
with,
Then you
and
see a hand rise up.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's a hand rising up that's beckoning him to come. And then they show this full figure. And Ebenezer says to the Spirit of Christmas Yet to Come, am I standing in the presence of the Spirit of yet to come? Are you going to show me the shadows of things that have not yet happened but will happen? Spirit of the future, I fear you more than any specter I've met tonight. But even in my fear, I must say that I am too old. I cannot change. I cannot. It's not that I'm impenitent. It's just wouldn't it be better if I just went home to bed? No. Well, very well. Lead on. So with the ghost spirit of the ghost of Christmas yet to come shows him the Cratchit mourning the death of Tiny Tim. They show three people, including the charwoman, Mrs. Dilber, sell off the possessions of a dead man, and two businessmen discuss an upcoming funeral. When shown the man's grave that is bearing his own name, Scrooge begs the spirit for a second chance. And as he's begging for him in the second chance, he reappears in his bed and he learns that it is Christmas Day.
I did not know what charwoman meant. It's
It's like a housekeeper.
yeah, but just specifically, it's refers to a paid part-time worker who comes into the house or other building to clean it for a few hours a day or week, as opposed to a maid who usually is as part of the household within the
Mhm.
structure of domestic service. I you kept saying charwoman, and I'm like, what's? And I'm seeing that defined, which I think is interesting because it tells you about his character. He's still too cheap to pay a full-time butler, staff, maids, and servants.
Just
He's
one
got the
person.
part-time help. Yeah,
Right, right. And he pays her cheaply.
yeah, very cheaply,
Very cheaply.
weekly, very weekly. Sorry,
Yes.
I had to borrow that line from
Ba-dum-bum. Ba-dum-bum.
Muppet 3D.
So here we go now about the change of Ebenezer Scrooge. He learns that it's Christmas Day, and he's like gone a little crazy looking. He frightens. Um, he realizes he still has opportunity to make amends, and he frightens Miss Dilber by his
Oh,
transformation. He frightened me, and I knew why he transformed.
that was a
But he
really cool scene, though, the way it was acted. She was like screaming. She was
Oh, yeah,
terrified.
because he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna do headstands. Oh, I'm happy, 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 crazy, and, he goes, "I don't deserve to be happy." Some of the lines, and they're probably gonna be mixed up, but he goes, "I don't deserve to be so happy, but I can't help it. I just can't help it." That was, later,
You
on the
did
day after Christmas, but,
you
I mean,
did
he
that
just
very
was
well,
he
though.
just I didn't put all the lines. He's like, I I I still have time. What should I do? Do I need to do this? And I need to do that. Oh my gosh, I'm just so happy. I just got Merry Christmas, Ebenezer, and have a happy New Year. Oh, yeah, just crazy happy, crazy excited that he
Mhm.
now has an opportunity to make amends. He sends the Cratchits, the most expensive prize turkey, um, and Tiny Tim goes, I think I wait, let me see if I can do a Tiny Tim voice. I think I know who sent it. Who? Mr. Scrooge. Oh dear, oh dear. Whatever made you think it might be him? I don't know. I just think it. What would make Mr. Scrooge take such leave of his senses suddenly? Tiny Tim looks at the turkey, then smiles at his father. Christmas. Was that a good Tiny Tim?
That was pretty good. Yes, that was pretty good. You do so
so
well reading these lines and stuff.
so they got a turkey, the prize turkey to
Hmm.
the
Can I throw something in here though? Because
uh-huh.
only so we don't have to come back to the picture, but that's got to be a big turkey, especially for the time, more realistic. But like the one, sorry for compare contrast, but like the George C. Scott one, it's like a 5 foot bird. It's like super duper huge. But I mean, that's still got to be a big bird. Well,
Mhm.
so I mean, I see. I think Big Bird. I think it's like almost the size of a table. But I understand people
It's
like
a
Lisa had a
humongous bird.
well, Lisa had a 24-pound turkey, so it's like I guess those are big birds. I guess I don't.
And remember, they're not pumped up with hormones like the crap that they do now.
Yeah, yeah. Well, in this book,
In this,
in
he
this
said
movie,
turkey,
yes, it was a turkey. Yes, I believe in the George C. Scott, it might have been a goose. I'll check that up. Lisa's laughing, so
but
but go ahead. I'll look that up though on that.
he goes to his nephew's party, and he goes, and his nephew Fred welcomes him immediately, and his daughter, well, I don't know, it niece-in-law, kind of looks at him, and you're thinking, oh gosh, for a second, is she going to be a jerk? And he looks at her and he goes, "Can you forgive a pig headed old fool with no eyes to see, with no ears to hear, with all these years?" And she looked at him and smiled and went over and kissed his cheek and welcomed him. And then they danced a polka and had a good time in that small little house. Um, so all that's all the wonderful things that he changed. Snorter Poopa says, I saw a 200-pound turkey the other day. He was driving a golf cart.
That'd be me. That'd be me. Snorter Poopas.
Uh-huh.
Lisa owes me a ride on the golf cart. So yeah.
So he,
Um,
you know, he,
Dave said Snorter Poopas said was then chomp nom nom nom.
ah,
Oh,
so
Bishop,
then
Mrs. May I take a moment of personal privilege real quick to
go right
speak
ahead.
like politician because the compare contrast, but I think it goes to answer your question also to confirm what Lisa said too here, because this is a screenshot. This is a picture from the '84, the George C. Scott, and it goes to Christmas present, bare chested.
Okay. Okay.
So I believe that you are definitely right with the bare chested look.
Oh, yes, you took away my screen.
Oh, I did.
That's
Oh,
okay. That's
oh,
okay.
sorry.
So good. Well, to me, it should have been, but so um, I wish I had a poll, but I didn't want to do what's your favorite A Christmas Carol because there's so many and people have
Yeah.
different ones. We'll do that next year. Um, then the next day, Scrooge plays a prank on Bob Cratchit, and this is what he Bob Cratchit comes in a little late. Um, he acts very irate, tells him to come into the office, and then he says to him, "Well, my friend, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm simply not going to stand this sort of thing any longer, which leaves me no choice but to raise your salary." And then he laughs absolutely crazy. And that's when, he says, I just can't stop laughing. And he continues to be a generous man and becomes a second father to Tiny Tim, who does not die and recovers. And that is the end of Scrooged.
Is it Scrooge or Scrooged?
I said Scrooged. It's
Okay.
Scrooge of Scrooge.
Uh huh.
So that talks. I'm trying to take this off. Right. So that talks about that movie. Um, what were your thoughts? Did anybody have like favorite scenes or characters or things that you liked in it, or what were your thoughts on the movie Dadman?
Well, today's thing, I don't see any reference to goose in any of these, but you know me, I'm not a black and white fan. You know, I'm not a black and white fan of, you know, screen, movie making. But
Right.
it was, I will say, I liked it. It was not bad. It was fun to watch the black and white. There was especially the effects with Marley at the beginning with the chains and all that. It was so faint. I mean, and that black, the dark of night, the dark of the room. It was real. The shading was quite interesting. I will say.
Hmm.
Um, I think it was a. I, overall, I really liked it, but I also think that it was interesting. I'm guessing it was pushing some limits for the time. Um, if being the 50s, there probably was a lot of thing about spirituality and ghosts and stuff like that already. But like the scene when Marley takes him to the window and shows him all the
Yeah,
people
we
that
didn't
are
talk about that.
all the ghosts that are trapped. They can't do anything. It's too late, you know.
Mhm.
And that was very. I mean, so many ghosts all around trying and to help this one person. I mean, all that shading, all that movement. I mean, it really was. It had to be something really kind of shocking for the time. I would think you probably did not see a lot of that, and also the two emaciated kids, as emaciated as they were,
Mhm.
that was not a pretty picture. They made them
Mm.
really look very
Yeah, and they did
emaciated.
use they did I mean, they were probably small kids anyway, but it did look like, they did a wonderful makeup job on them. I think so.
Oh, they did without a doubt,
Mhm.
especially the
And
girl's
if you
face.
guys, want to put in your comments and, your rating, go ahead and do that,
Oh
and
no,
I
Snorpoopus
will,
likes
star them and we'll show them, later.
he likes it until Scrooge until he wimps out at the end. Yes, so that's too funny, Snorpoopus. But yeah, feel free. What like Mrs. said, what lines do you like? What scenes do you like? What do you think about the movie? But the pacing was good. I didn't fall asleep in it, and
No,
I took a nap after, so I was tired.
but you stayed awake. You did good.
Yeah, I did good through a black and white movie, and it was really it was. I guess what got me was, like I said, you watched it as a standalone movie. I can't help but compare and contrast. It's just
Mhm.
who I am and what I do. I people watch, and it drives people annoying because I watch and I look for patterns and differences. And it was interesting to see. My base was to compare everything to George C. Scott.
Mhm.
I liked the way Alistair Sim portrayed Ebenezer Scrooge. He was, it was. I expected more gruff, grouchy old man like maybe as George C. Scott did, but he wasn't really that grouchy per se. It wasn't this overbearing, bah humbug, those type of things. It was just said and spoken. I mean, it was
He
still
just was like,
he
yeah.
meant it, but it was not the yelling, the screaming, the over gruffness with things.
Mhm.
Uh, and I tell you what, the facial expression, Alistair
Yep.
Sim also with as an actor, I'd never seen him in a role like this, but I mean his ability, the way he could dance, the way he jumped around there and then celebrating and stuff. I mean, he looked much older, but he had a
Mhm.
lot of energy. He went from the slow, like weak old man, mad at everything, to the happy, bouncy pogo stick going around. So there's things like that that made it ultimately a good movie for me. I it's a slightly different telling of a Christmas story. I mean,
Mhm.
a Christmas Carol. That's a different movie. Oh
Yeah,
God, that movie. But a Christmas Carol. But it's the same, but it's not the same. If that
right.
makes sense.
Mhm.
Um, and I kind of
Yeah,
like it because it
don't
was.
give your rating yet, just
I'm
give
not.
your
I'm not. Yeah, because we got some time. I'm trying to let people say stuff
well,
too
let
on
me go ahead and, I wanted to say this one real quick that, Stunning had, whoops, oh crap, I gotta go find it now. I messed up. So let me go find
here.
this
I can look
real
for Stunny's
I
comments.
got it. I got it right here. But he says he's talking about a version of a graphic novel that was called Batman Noel, which is based on A Christmas Carol. See, like I said, there are so many versions of it.
Hmm.
A movie, um, a graphic novel. I'm sure there's some animes out there that do the retelling of it.
The
Um,
Muppets did.
there were the Muppets. He says, but in the graphic novel, Catwoman, Superman, and Joker were the ghosts of the Christmases. And in the context of the story, or Batman was the Scrooge. So you can find this. This story has permeated um, all genres and probably a lot of cultures in
That
various
is
ways.
really fascinating. That concept.
Um,
That really is fascinating. That whole concept of that. By the way, the dragon entered the door.
Hello, Tina the Naughty Dragon. I hope you are doing well tonight.
Yes.
We just went over the synopsis, the plot of our movie. we're now kind of talking about it. Um, and my feelings were it was an hour and a half. I think if they did it any longer, it would
Yeah.
have been bad. I think at that time that's kind of what they did movies so that they could get more movies in during a day, a showing day,
Hmm.
because you could pretty much maybe get an extra movie in. Um, so
Yeah.
that was why they usually didn't go past an hour and a half. But I think the time was perfect for this. The actors, I really, really, really like the actors. All of them, I think they did really well. Alastair Sim, his facial expressions, his body movement. Um, when he was talking to Marley and his leg was just a tapping, just a shaking, because he was like, I'm not going to be nervous, but he was nervous. Uh,
Yes, that I noticed that is the hand
yeah,
twitching there.
Bob
I that
Cratchit
was really good.
while he was, it was Christmas Eve, and he wasn't sure if he was going to get his time off, and you could see his hands, just the kind of the nervousness of because every year um, Ebenezer Scrooge said what he said to him. If we took wages away from you, you would whine, but here you have no problem taking wages from me. I have to say this every year. So you guys put your ratings down out of, you can put like how many out of 5, 10, whatever you want to do.
So,
Put your ratings down.
well, we have
Um,
two fans of this movie. Tina said it's a favorite version of A Christmas Carol, and we know what Lisa thinks about it. So feel
yeah.
free, share your
So
thoughts,
put your ratings
what
down
you
so we
like,
can have some ratings.
and share
But you
thoughts about quotes and lines and movies. What
have
did you
any
like about it?
specific parts you like? I did not think so. Some of these Tiny Tim annoys the living snot out of me, but he didn't on
He
this. He
was he was a much toned down and not so bubbly. He was happy, but not this syrupy sweet
yeah,
like
yeah,
overwhelmed thing.
yeah.
But
It just
I also wanted. I'm sorry, you were talking about
go
Tim Tim.
ahead.
My bad. No, no, go ahead.
But yeah, like I'm just talking about some of the characters. They weren't overblown. Bob Cratchit's wife was, she wasn't bad. Even when she was, hateful about Scrooge, um, it was believable. It wasn't over the
Mhm.
top. Um,
Well, like I
eh,
said with the charwoman, I mean, man, the way she screamed, I mean, that was realistic. That was a pretty thing. The way she fell on the floor over the whatever the robe or whatever was on the floor. I mean, the way she tried to flee him and stop, got stopped in the hall, down the stairs. I mean, she panicked. She was like, and then just very believable. And then when she ran out the door, Merry Christmas, it was really, really good, well acted, and just like I said, I'm not a fan of the black and whites, but this one worked. The shading worked. The lighting. And I noticed the scoring with the music, like you said. It was.
mhm.
It reminds me of how those old movies, like the King Kong black and whites. You know that
Da, da,
those songs.
da.
And we had that. We had this.
Yeah.
It was very. You could tell that how it was important to have in with as the scenes between the happy party songs to the slower, sadder scenes and stuff like that. So it was really effective.
Okay, very good, very good. Um, um, I felt this was in 1951. I
Hmm.
thought the special effects for 1951 were great. I think,
Sorry,
I
I'm
think
laughing because of the last night with the Gremlins. When you had a fit, when you had a problem with the Gremlins marching down the street.
because
Sorry.
that was awful. It just they shouldn't have done it. But
No,
but let me okay. But these effects
yeah, they were
didn't
good.
bother me.
Yes.
They were good. They took the limitations that they had and they're like, okay, we're not going to show them flying in the air. We're just going to kind of show some smoke and the passage of time or whatever. And then they're going to be, which to me was perfect because otherwise you just get so focused on, oh my God, that just looks so bad. They thought before they did some of the effects that they had to do. And some of them, it was more, the ghost is in the other room. You walk in there and hello, there's the ghost.
Mhm.
He doesn't have to appear. The Marley and the doorknob was, wonderful effect to do, very, um, and effective. Some of them, they actually transform the doorknob looking into the face of them, um, which with now with the technology they can. But I just love that, just kind of imposing it over the doorknob. Every effect worked perfect.
Mhm.
Um, Now, if they, I wouldn't even necessarily care if they did them today. But they worked perfect, and
Mhm.
they didn't detract from the film at all.
The only
Whereas
thing.
the Walking Gremlins
Oh gosh.
detracted from the film. I'm sorry.
It was just classic cheesy '80s CGI or stop motion animation,
I
whatever you want to
know.
call it. Now, the only thing in this movie that I kind of had a bone to pick, and maybe it was a product of
Uh-huh.
time and all, was the ghost of the Christmas is yet to come. When I saw flesh, when I saw a hand, it lost its scare. It lost its fear. I remember seeing the Christmas carols where you didn't really see that. At least I
The
don't recall
hand
seeing
was
it before.
cloaked in a.
Yeah, and you didn't. And then I think the one that was in the George C. Scott version where it like like sucked up, basically disappeared in the face like he was coming after him. There was more terror in the Ghost of the Future of
Mhm.
the. I mean, I know the line was delivered in this version too, but it didn't have the same feel or ringing of the more modern versions
Mhm.
with the Ghost of Christmas Past. Maybe it's a technology thing. Maybe I don't know what it is, but and I think it's really a very nitpicky nitpick,
Mhm.
but it was one of those things.
It was
Maybe
just one
for
of
the
those.
time it was good, really something.
Right. Well, the ghost of Christmas, ghost of Christmas yet to come. A lot of times they kind of depict it more like a Grim Reaper kind of um, character.
Hmm.
Um,
Yes,
I
exactly. That's
and
what.
and so with the black, um, I think they try to do that. I understand with the hand. The hand, it didn't bother me that much. Um, I wish they kind of showed a little more of like the ghost of Christmas yet to come, like when they're um, at the grave, and he reveals the name of the person, or something to kind of. I will say that he was the one I felt was the most kind of not involved.
Hmm.
And I know a lot of that was, I mean, he never talked. I don't think the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come ever speaks, which I'm okay with, but there
Yeah,
was no like gesturing to, or, you know, um, or anything, they just were like, okay, here's the scene, here's the scene, here's the scene. So I wish they showed more of the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come. Um, but maybe they couldn't. And yeah, Dadman said, "Oh, is this the earliest Christmas Carol?" I'm like, "No, there's more." Um, so next year, Lisa, what we're thinking of doing, and everybody here, is doing a bracket system and having 16 of different versions of a Christmas Carol, and have them, two by two, competing against each other's in polls and all that stuff, and see which one wins at the end, and we'll do reviews of them and maybe watch parties of some of them. I'm not 100% sure. All that we'll do, we'll have to see when we have to start in July to get all that it done.
yeah,
Um, but Lisa did a quote, what her about the movie here, the Greed and Isolation, Dad Man.
yeah. I
It,
will. Yeah,
okay.
she said that's cool. That's a project. So
Yes.
yeah,
She says, greed and isolation versus service and inclusion. Heavy messaging. Yes, yes. Um, and that's kind of what and and I don't it was it is very deep and heavy, but I don't think they did it heavy-handed. Um, it was just kind of a part of it. You saw the isolation of Scrooge. He was, eating alone, not wanting to spend a half penny for a little extra
Yeah.
piece of bread. Um, he was alone in the house, this huge house. He's all by himself.
That
He's,
that
um,
simple addition jumped out at me. That little scene, because I don't remember that in any of the other versions. Not saying it's not there, but that little scene with the bread. That he's sitting there, this rich old guy got all this money, and you would think he would, as a businessman, would respect that. Hey, the business owner ain't giving us something away for free. Charge just a penny for it. But he turns it down. He refuses it, and that was a neat addition because it
yeah.
went further to show. Damn, man,
How
how cheap are you? God, come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, how he
Don't
truly
skip.
does worship the golden idol.
I know, man, give
Um,
me bread over money anytime, but hey. Oh, I don't know, but since we're talking different versions, Fallout Dave said, "Don't forget Looney Tunes."
oh,
Also
yeah,
have a
absolutely.
Muppet.
Yeah, actually,
Wow,
we would include all them. Go ahead.
Buddy has actually seen the 38 too. He says he likes it. Watch that along with the 35 David Copperfield and 36 Little Lord Fauntleroy.
It might be fun to do movies and like that. To do, I keep saying stuff would be cool to do, and then I don't ever do it. But that might be something neat to do. Some of the older movies.
Mm-hmm.
Let's watch some classic movies. There's so many in all
Yeah.
different time periods. Um, I would love to watch
Mm-hmm.
Metropolis, which is directed by Franz Lanz.
That's not
Fritz
a
Le
Superman movie, is it?
No, Franz Lenz. No, it is, a very, very early, I believe, German, and I'm not 100% sure if it's silent or not because my brain just totally stopped working, but it is a very classic movie. Very,
Mm-hmm.
very classic, movie.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll get him used to black and white movies. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, like I said, I like the actors. I even think the character actors um, did well. The little kids singing, the um, businessman that came and talked to Scrooge. Uh, just all. I just think all of them are just they all were it's just they were none of them fell short.
No.
None of them fell short, and it really Tina says, "Dadman, have you seen American Christmas Carol with Henry Winkler?" I think I did a long time ago. We did see it that it is on Tubi or something, and we
I did.
might.
I did not know about it till earlier tonight when I was looking for that picture about Ghost of Christmas Present, and I saw that there is an American Christmas Carol with Henry Winkler.
Mhm.
Does he go, eh?
No, he
Instead it says a
doesn't.
bah humbug, bah, eh. I'm sorry. Okay.
Hey, humbug!
No, there you go.
Hey,
That
humbug!
works.
There we
That
go.
works. Oh my gosh, look at this march to make me watch black and white.
Oh, but those are wonderful.
Yeah.
Those are wonderful
Now, Fred
movies.
against Sam is not in that line, not to try to hijack the stream.
No, it is not. It is not.
Oh gosh, we okay.
You are
I don't
correct.
want to detract on that because I mean
Yeah.
that's that whole debate about where that line came from and everything. But yes,
Yeah, Twilight Zone, the original Twilight Zone was in black and white.
yeah. But there's 30-minute episodes. I got into some of those, but it's I don't know. It's just I guess the really old stuff, the stuff before the '60s. It's kind of the stuff like the really old stuff. See, I
Some
watched
of
one of
it
the
is
black and
hard.
whites from Europe. The Are You Being Served?
See, but
That started
some of them are hard to watch because the film quality is bad.
right.
They haven't been preserved well, or the um, copy that they have is not the best. And sometimes it's really hard to watch things that are not of decent quality. I'm not talking about
Hmm.
4 HD or anything of that. But
Right.
and so sometimes that's hard to watch black and white movies if you don't have a good print of it. to watch
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
from.
I want to come back to this real quick because it
Oh wait,
dawned on me.
I never finished my statement on that. I got
Okay, go
distracted.
ahead. Sorry.
But yes, it was that message was there and it was done really well. And yes, at the end of the movie, when Tiny Tim comes bouncing up and jumping and everything, just it made me happy. And then when he just, he grabbed him and hugged him, completely different from the beginning of the movie when he pushed, told the children to get away, scared the blind man's dog, and the whole thing. You know, just a complete change. They show him he gives the blind Sam guy some money, pets the dog on the head. The people are he's happy around. He hugs and lifts up Tiny Tim, and they go happily walking um, to probably Tiny Tim's house. And it was a beautiful visual at the end.
Mhm.
I agree with you, Lisa.
Yep.
And I think that sums up the whole message of the movie. Number one, you're never too old to change.
Mhm. But I think even deeper, and maybe it just they actually got into the Christianity aspect of Christmas at the beginning. In
Hmm.
some of the lines, they actually brought in the Savior, the Christ. It was some of the word in the scripting of the words and the biblical references. The
Hmm.
the theology behind the traditional Christian Christmas, which I
Hmm.
thought the Ghost of Christmas Present said it in directly. I think in one of his
Yes. Because
early
when he
on.
was basically introducing himself.
Right.
Uh huh.
Exactly. And there was at least one other scene early in the movie that, in terms of the heavy message, really it did have messages on many many levels, and it was pretty open with whatever message it brought that at the time.
Hmm.
So, but exactly now Lisa's saying Sergeant York was worth multiple watches. So
Okay.
absolutely. Um, but yeah, y'all have any other thoughts or comments? Any other grades or all that? Is there anything you didn't like, Mrs. on this one?
I I will honestly say that the only thing, and I was the music to a point, and that was only because I'm not even though I watch old movies, I'm not always used to the music was very loud, and sometimes it was almost too loud.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that to me that's such a minor thing.
Right.
They had the crescendos, and you're like, oh, okay,
Yep. Yeah.
decrescendo now, decrescendo. Um, but that was, and to me that is so minor. That is so minor. I thought the pacing was good. I thought the cinematography was good. I thought the special effects were good. Um, I thought all the acting was good. I liked the costuming. Um, um, the set. I love the sets. You know, um, and the one thing Dadman kept saying, "Wow, for Fred and his wife to be poor, they really look very fancy."
Yes. Yes.
Look at their hair and look at their dresses. Well, a lot of times, at times, they women only had one dress. They
Mm-hmm.
had their church. Well, they had two, if they could afford it. They had their church dress and their fancy dress, and then they had their working dress. And that's why they would wear aprons and things like that and arm bands for their arms, and for the sleeve, to keep all that stuff clean so
See,
that they
that's
could wear that dress. And they wore layers underneath it so the sweat would not absorb into the dress. It absorbed into the petticoats, the chemises, and whatever else they had. So, yes, they could have a very fancy dress, but it might have been uh, resewn 30 times.
see. I can't get used to that. I sit there and look at it like I I barely wear clothes half the time, and then people around the house all in these nice things, fully dressed. It's like, what the heck? It's like going to watching some of the sports, the videos of the football games in the '60s, and it's like everybody's out there in ties and dresses. It's like, uh, but it was an interesting thing, and I'm glad you remembered about that because yeah, hey, that's not bad to be poor like that. But
Yeah, but
anyway,
but but the thing is that they were poor because if you had money, you had multiple dresses. You might not have had a lot of them, but you had multiple uh, fancy dresses. You had a couple
hmm
work dresses. You had more. And
hmm
Tina said that I really liked the transformation of Scrooge at the end. It made me believe that he had a huge weight lifted off his shoulders. That describes it actually perfectly
hmm
because he was like jumping and dancing and if he was a a, a break dancer, he would have been doing spins on the floor. I mean, he just was so happy
yeah,
that
it
he
was
didn't even
crazy.
know how to contain himself. All that joy that was stuffed down in there had to just come bubbling out.
I think it was
Um,
also an indication of the brilliance of Alastair Sim there that I mean, it was believable. It was
His
genuine.
face
It was
changed.
just,
Even the
yeah.
appearance of his face, which looked
hmm
drawn and haggard, and I know they could have done some of that with makeup. I understand, but still, there's a lot of that. That's the actor. His face was that drawn and haggard. When he was working Christmas Eve, and then when he was at eating, he just looked like he was deaf, and then after that, it was like he was reborn. I mean, he was reborn actually, but, it just the transformation in his body, the way he walked, his, voice, his, face, all of it just was there and was done perfectly.
hmm No,
So we have a
absolutely.
great
Work for British society. Yep, absolutely. So,
yeah, and that's
oh,
exactly it.
Lisa was said Cratchit was just a step ahead of the poorhouse.
Yes, and boy, he had a lot of kids. Was it 6?
Yeah. Hey, he's
Uh,
homeschooling before. Sorry, just
yes, yeah,
yeah.
yes.
But yeah, and I
Here's
think
the joke.
but
Okay.
see, but his with his acting though, like that, where we talked about the nervousness, that kind of jumped out because here he is trying to get off to go home and be with the family. That impatient. I've had that look at work sometimes, like clock run. But he also had the impervious boss on top of him too. There, it was really really interesting with
Mhm.
Cratchit here.
And so just ahead of the poorhouse, his oldest son Peter,
hmm
he was wearing a collar that was his dad's. They couldn't even afford to get him his own shirt collars.
Right.
So yeah, you did what you had to do, and there was a lot of hemming, and there were hand me downs if you had kids, and you would hem up and then hem down as they grew, so that it wouldn't be too short.
hmm
Um, Shoes, passed down to down. If the shoe was too big, you stuffed paper in the toe so that you could wear it. You just did stuff if you were poor and had no money,
hmm
and to live.
Yeah.
Um, so, but yeah, the transformations. I agree with Tina was really really very good. So, are we ready to check out what some of the ratings were in
Yeah. Sure.
the?
Are you going to
Okay,
drive on this?
it's up to you. I starred them. Do
Go ahead.
you?
You should you reveal the ratings for people.
Okay,
I
so
mean, you're the audience ratings, right?
yes, the audience
Go
ratings.
ahead
We're
with
going to
the
go through the
audience. Yeah,
audience ratings first.
and
We have
feel
a
free to keep giving us if you have either thoughts or comments. Keep putting them in, and if you have not put a rating in, put it in now.
Yes, we would love to hear what you thought of the movie. Um, so, Fallout Dave said, "I think it's one of the better Christmas Carol movies," and I do agree with you. And he gave it a 7 out of 10. Very nice.
Nice. Okay.
Tina the Naughty Dragon says, "A 5 ball humbug out of 5 for me." Very good.
Hmm.
I love her favorite movie. Love the analysis that was done. Um, excellent, excellent. And we
Mm-hmm.
already talked about this one. So we have a Snorter Poopus Cuber who says, "I give it 2.5 ghosts of Christmas past out of 3.
Wow.
Very good rating. So everyone liked this movie. It got good ratings. So very nice. Let me pop down here and move back down here. And Lisa, oh wait, what happened here? Lisa gave it an 8 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
And Stunning is back, getting studio clean for the Dio stream tomorrow. Yes, Stunning, put your link out for that stream so people can go over there and can remember to go over
It's
there.
funny. I was thinking he said Dio, like Ronnie James Dio.
No,
He was
Diorama.
okay. But Lisa, that's an interesting score.
And
8 out of 10. Yeah.
7 butt slaps out of 10 for Stunning and Brave Megatron. Buddy gives it an 8 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
And Tina says, okay, I understand that this was a typo, so I'm going to read it correctly. I read it the correct way. It says, at the end, when Scrooge snuck in, laying in wait to prank Cratchit was so funny. Yes, it was. He was like the kid in the candy shop. He snuck in and he's trying not to laugh and he's trying to be serious, come in here right now. And you could just see him wanting to laugh. And poor Bob Cratchit going in there thinking, oh, today is the day we're going to the poorhouse because I am getting fired.
Mm-hmm.
And he got through it. I think he almost got through it, or he barely got through it, and then he started giggling. Um,
Oh, look on the
so,
Twitch side.
hey, Daisy Blossom, hello, a raid. Thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. We are rating the 1951 A Christmas Carol. So if any of you have seen it and would like to rate it, please do. That would be fantastic. And hello, Liam. I'm glad to see you also. Hello.
And
Welcome,
congratulations on his
welcome.
congratulations again on his big news for those that know about him on our channel but have not heard. He's now engaged.
Yay!
Yay to Ashy Slashy,
Yay!
who's been with us before.
Yay! So, thank you so much. Is it on emote only?
I know because I typed in language.
Yeah,
I
but
think
you might be able
I'll
to. Let
double
me.
check.
I'll do it. I'm right here. Okay, it's not. Okay. They just
Yeah,
like sending emotes, which is
yeah, they
okay.
do.
But I
Daisy's
always
testing.
panic.
Yeah, I know.
Well, so yes,
That's the cool thing
welcome.
with Twitch is you have all those little cool emojis and stuff. Oh, but you see,
Yes, it's working very
Gray.
good.
Yes.
So I love it. I love it. So
Oh gosh, buddy, spilled a glass of water in his crotch and pointed yellow wetter. Jeez.
yelling water. Yes, yelling water. So everybody, I thank you all. Now me and Dadman are going to give our I thank everybody that gave the reviews. Oh, there's my little Eva.
Hey, still
So
feel
cute.
free along the way, folks. It's
If you
never too
want to
late.
put your, I think most people kind of did put them
Yeah.
in.
Well, if there's anybody coming in late or any thoughts
Yes.
that come to your memory
Hey,
about
Ashy Slashy.
there you go. And here's
We
the
have
bride to be.
Liam
Oh shoot, we're
and Daisy Blossom and Ashy Slashy. Hello. Our rating for the movie. Here we go. Like I said, Jingle All the Way was our first movie. Then we did Gremlins, and now we are rating A Christmas Carol, the 1951 Alastair Sim, which is sometime known as Scrooge. Stunning. I
there you
did
go.
not. And yes, best wishes to Liam and Ashley for their upcoming nuptials. Very good. If it was on any of the social medias, I did not because I really have not been on them today. We've had a crazy day. So, yes,
We got
it's steady by time soon. The old bear is fading faster
well,
than a Christmas
we'll
ghost.
tell you our ratings sort of
Okay,
pookus.
so here's our ratings right now, maybe. There it is. We both gave it 8 out of 10. I gave it 8 Christmas trees out of 10, and Dadman gave it 8 popcorn buckets out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
So we like this movie. The very few, there were some nitpicky things, but we really enjoyed it. And this is one that I think should be um, on everybody's list to watch. I think you should watch quite a few different Christmas carols in the Christmas season um,
Mm-hmm.
because they're good. And this one, like I say, it was an hour and a half.
What did you score yours on 8 of 10? Are there any specific reasons
I
or?
just all of it. I thought the timing was good. The pacing was good. The acting, the costume design, the cinematography, the special effects, all of it. I thought was really really good.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that, like I said, was the music, but that was how they did music at that time. So I can't really mark, a lot for that off, But the movie was way up there. It's really hard for me to give a 10 rating on any movie. It's
Right.
really hard. Um,
Yeah.
so,
See, I
but
agree. That kind of factored into how I rated this one. This is actually one I could go back and uh, reevaluate later because I'm like you. I don't want to rate anything 10 of 10. I normally on a good day I'd rate Jingle All the Way 10 of 10. But
oh
but
gosh.
yeah,
Oh,
but seriously, really seriously, this of the three movies was by far the best in terms of a movie, and specifically as a Christmas movie. In needing brain dead dumps and gag jokes and put that cookie down now, that stuff would jingle all the way. But this was really a serious Christmas movie, and it came through. It was well done for all the reasons you mentioned. This is one that when I look at all the other ratings, this is one I could possibly shift up to a 9 or either jingle all the way down a little bit because it was a very solid, very good movie put together, and it was truly a Christmas movie. So,
hmm
so
okay.
oh, Lisa agrees with your rating so far.
Well, thank you, thank you. I really try. Um, Number one, I really don't want to, especially when there's a lot of remakes I can't even say they're remakes, a lot of versions of the adaptation of a novel. I really, really don't want to compare them with one or the other unless that's what the review is about. I want them to stand on their own merit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, thank you. I
Yep.
try,
Yeah.
but so I think that's about all we have for our
Yeah.
review today. Anything else that
Well,
you want to say?
the only thing with that is I think this is kind of cool because I think we have good styles together because you look at it slightly different than I do. You're
Hmm.
trying to not compare and contrast, but and I understand with the more modern remakes and stuff, but that's kind of what I do. I live in a life and a career or field of comparing and contrasting, and it just
Hmm.
is like second nature to me. And I just so I think it's cool that you look at it that way. But I I look at them to identify different things because, like I said, I am not familiar with that bread scene in any of the others that I saw, but it jumped out to me. It really jumped out to me as defining his character really early on, setting the tone even more.
Hmm.
Another side of it. Here, a guy goes out there, could afford for prime rib if he wants to, but won't even pay a penny for a piece of bread.
Hmm.
I just that's where I like to compare and contrast sometimes to see,
Hmm. Yeah, I
just
got
they
you.
can pick up different things that I have in there. So,
I got you. I got you. Absolutely. I
Tina,
put Yes, I put that one all the way up
uh,
while you were talking.
I'm
I
sorry.
watched this movie, and Lisa agrees with my Jingle All the Way review.
Hey, it's still. Oh no! Come on, Lisa, stop that. I thought Mrs. had
Thank you,
eight to
Lisa.
ten and go there. Oh,
Thank you,
boo!
thank you, thank you.
Who else
Well,
can say put that cookie down now? Like,
I'm not
oh,
saying no. Well, you know why I gave it 3 out of 10. They were not. They were scenes that I thought were funny, but the overall message of the movie totally tanked it.
Bad dads for sure. Yeah.
So, anyway, thank you all for being here. It's 1 hour and 39 minutes into the show, which is 9:39 in not my neck of the woods, which is the East Coast of the United States. And now, um,
I think Daisy and I are going to have to review Jingle together now. We're going to change
so
that stream on the 20th.
stop it. Nope. So, on that note, I am going to try. And well, I'm not going to try. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do some shameless promotions
Yes.
now. So
Yay.
here
Please don't
we
leave.
are.
Listen, folks.
My morning musings with Miss Dadman Walking are Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. That being said, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I am not doing a scheduled stream. We are going on vacation for uh, coming back on Wednesday. Speaking of Wednesday, we are, oh, well, we got tomorrow. Tomorrow we are doing Santa Claus at noon. The Tim Allen Santa Claus, only the first one. Guess there are three of them, but we are only doing the first Santa Claus movie.
Yeah, I've never seen that movie either.
And then on
So.
Wednesday, when we get back from our vacation, we are going to be reviewing Elf. That is Wednesday at 8 p.m. And Stunning says you better schedule me in for a future Jingle All the Way stream because I've only seen it once when I was younger.
But he remembers
Uh,
that cookie line, though. That's for sure.
Oh, well, maybe we'll have to do a watch party. Okay, maybe. So then on Thursday, Dadman and Daisy Blossom are going to do a movie review of
Yes.
Battleship. So that should be
It's so scientifically accurate. You can take a flipping Battleship Missouri at flank speed, drop the anchor, and spin at 180 degrees.
well, Buddy says like the Santa Claus elf, not so much. Well, come to the reviews and you can find out how we think about them, and you can give us your reasons why and why not.
Just an
Um,
initial thought. I think the
yeah,
thing, like with Elf, comes down to like if you like
let's
Will
not.
Ferrell. I don't know. I'm not spoiling anything. Okay. I just
We'll
said
discuss.
if in general. Okay.
I know.
All right.
If you don't like the actor, then you probably won't like
No.
the film.
Oh, Stunning said, watch Jingle just for the cookie scene.
I do love that cookie scene.
But you sing my Battleship.
You sank my battleship.
We played that game on my late the other night. I did a late chill chat. But
Oh,
yes.
cool. And on Friday, December 13th,
Yes.
with a special guest, Agent Atwood, we are going to go watch. Not going to watch. We're going to review Krampus. I actually watched this movie for the first time last year.
Yes.
Not a big horror fan, but I don't mind watching it again. And next year, I'm thinking of in October doing the Christmas horror movies. And so,
well, how would you define that? What type of horror movies, though? Are you talking about like the classic, like the black and whites in the 60s?
No, I'm talking about any. There, some of them I won't do because they're too bad. But there's one like what is it? A battle between Santa and Krampus
battle
duke it out.
Santa Krampus duke it out to the end.
There's some others, that are not too scary, but kind of a little campy-ish.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking of maybe doing that. Silent Night, Deadly Night is one that Buddy has suggested. I'm thinking about doing that in October. So I'm trying to work ahead on some things. So if you think it's a good idea, let me know. Because we'll go for it. So 12 movies of Christmas. Yeah, Krampus on Friday, December 13th.
That's another one Buddy recommended.
Saturday. Yeah, I said that. Okay.
No, I'm sorry.
Saturday. That's okay. Saturday. We're doing kids.
Sorry.
Cartoons.
Jack Frost is worth watching since you like Cocaine Bear. Oh my goodness.
Okay, probably would like it. So we're doing Rudolph the Small One. Santa Claus is coming to town.
And Christmas all year.
Dr. Seuss, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Probably Frosty the Snowman. The Little Drummer Boy. Charlie Brown Christmas. So we're going to kind of be doing quick reviews of each one of these. I'm not going to go through very deep a plot about these because then we'd be here forever. Most people know what they are, but we'll show some slides from them and
Mm.
talk about them. So I think that one's going to be real neat. Sunday the 15th, we're doing National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, the original one with Chevy Chase. Monday the 16th, we're going to review A Christmas
This one's
Story.
gonna be fun. This one's gonna be fun. Because this is such a cult classic. That one's gonna be
Yes,
interesting.
it's gonna. Yes, it is.
It just
Um,
it's the only Christmas movie that I've seen that has its own 24 hours. Like on
yes.
TBS and TNT and them. It's really something. We know people that are addicted to that movie too.
Oh, that's when Buddy says, I forgot about that. Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. Kind of it's a version of like the Gift of the Magi. Is that the name of it? A short story. I don't want to say a lot about it, but I think
No.
it's that one.
Okay.
Um, and on Tuesday at 1 p.m., I'm going to be doing Christmas Lego builds. These were some free stuff we got on Black Friday.
Yay.
Tuesday the 17th at 8 p.m., reviewing Home Alone 2, Lost in
Yes.
New York.
Tim
Um,
Curry. Sorry.
18th, the Wednesday, Scrooged with Bill Murray. Our final
I've never
movie,
seen that one either.
oh,
I've never seen that
there's a
one either.
lot of these he hasn't
I
seen.
know. Oh,
Uh,
look at what Lisa's comment there right here. Rankin
that is
Bass
so true. So
was it?
true.
Yep, exactly.
Rankin Bass wasn't Christmas without growing up without them. I
Exactly.
agree.
I've only
Um,
heard a lot about this movie, but I've never seen it. And
well, I haven't watched it in a long, long time, so I'm going to be very curious to see how well it aged.
I wonder if
We'll
he'll
see.
annoy you in the movie though, because I
I
know
don't
some people.
know. We'll see. I liked the movie when I first watched it when it first came out. So we'll see if I have changed and if it now annoys me or not.
Okay.
Um, our Thursday at 5, we're going to be doing puttering around in Lego Fortnite. Thursday the 19th, our last movie is Klaus, which is on Netflix. I watched it last year or a couple years ago. I'm not sure when it first came out.
Yes.
Um, it's a different movie. I don't know if a lot of people know about it. So we're going to talk about
Bef-
that movie. And then this,
Before you move
oh,
on, can I interject real quick right here, folks? If you've not seen this movie, you really should see it.
mm-hmm.
Give it a shot. It was one the kids were a bit younger. I kind of rolled my eyes, but I was impressed. I say try to watch this movie before we do the stream or at some point we can. This movie is definitely worth a kick on the tires to change. And Tina said Christmas doesn't start till Hans Gruber falls out of the building. No. Okay. Thank
There's
you.
a reason. There's a reason I didn't do certain movies, Tina, because they're people. They have very opinionated opinions on whether they're Christmas movies or not,
Yeah.
and I I wanted to kind of try to do movies that were um, pretty obviously Christmas movies. Gremlins probably was the only one that I think that could have been debatable. Um,
Mm,
but I didn't want to have the debate about it's a Christmas movie, it's not a Christmas movie
right.
in the chat because I wanted to talk about the movies. Um,
Yeah.
maybe we'll watch. We can watch Die Hard. Do Die Hard later, but yeah. So this one, I would recommend watching it. And all
Mm-hmm.
these movies, these 12 movies of Christmas, lead up to this special event that is going to be happening on the 20th. It is our Christmas tradition stream with the Dadmans and Daisy Blossom Flower Child. We are going to be talking. Oh, yeah, I
I was
agree with
gonna
you, Lisa.
I'll
Um,
put it up in a second. Go ahead and talk about your slide.
um, we are, going to be talking Christmas traditions around the world, um, and I am really, really looking forward to personal traditions, some traditions of the countries that we come from. I'm going to be researching other countries and maybe find some interesting traditions like the entire Krampus
Oh
tradition.
yeah, that'd be
Um,
interesting. Oh, by the way, yeah, we even put up a tree this year. Yay!
yeah, we even put up a Christmas tree this year, which we haven't done in a while.
A
Um,
Five Below tree, but hey, it's perfect.
hey, it's a beautiful tree. I love my tree.
Lisa likes Daisy's picture. Yes,
Yes, yes.
Ernest Saves
Yes, there
Christmas.
are so many Christmas. There's so many Christmas
Santa
movies. Of,
Jaws. Now, do you
um,
want to hit this one here that Lisa said now while we got the Christmas tradition slide up?
we
Because
can.
go ahead,
Oh,
Rampage. Yeah.
Polar Express irritates me. Maybe it's too long. It irritates me too. I hate it so much that I have wiped all thought of it out of my brain. I just
Which is
did not
weird
like
because
it.
one of our kids wanted a Disney prize pack from Polar Express and
No, they
stuff like.
did not.
No, wait. How,
No, it was a Disney prize pack for Jim Carrey's A Christmas Carol.
no, I thought. Okay.
No, it was not Polar Express. It was Jim Carrey's A Christmas Carol. They had a
Okay.
train going through
That's what throws
they
me. Okay.
and it was that movie. And my oldest entered a contest on the Disney Channel
Yep.
and won for
Yep.
Jacksonville, which I
Yep.
can say that because that's where our PO box is. I'm not
Yep.
doxing anybody. And so it came through here, and
Wow.
we got to go there. And they did an interview, and their little interview was on Disney Channel, but we never saw it because they never gave us a specific time it was.
Yeah.
But it was really, really very cool.
But look at the hate for Polar Express out there. I
It's
mean,
off putting.
Daisy. Yeah. Wow.
So maybe
Yeah.
we should review. I don't want to sit through it.
Still
I
got to
won't
put up our
review. I
little
don't want
countdown
to do
tree.
that movie because I don't want to sit through it.
Maybe next year.
The
Uh,
soulless. Yeah, there was just like I say, I have pretty much wiped that out of my brain. So do yourself a favor, Tina, and don't. I will say I actually have that movie in my library, but I will never watch it. And the only reason I have it in there is because I think you should even have sucky movies in physical media because um, sometimes you need to have the examples of things that you shouldn't do.
it's
So,
scary what Lisa in
yeah,
your
don't do
reading,
it.
but
Just don't do it.
hey, B from Junior's here. Hey, B
Hey,
from
B
O
from O
Junior.
Junior, how are you doing?
Now B from O Junior likes Polar Express. Yay.
No, does it say he did, or did he just?
I guess it, well, I take
He
that he
said,
didn't have hate for it means he was okay with it.
or is
So,
he asking which one we like? I've never watched March of the Penguins, so
oh, Dave, Fallout Dave has never watched it because it looks strange, and it does. It like Buddy was saying that the art style. Oh, Buddy has a little Charlie Brown tree on the table where the dorm is.
very nice.
Nice. So,
Well, everybody, B from O Junior is here, and B from O has just started his adventure in streaming. So I am
mm-hmm.
going to put his link out there. Um, let me give him 1 second to talk. I'm going to put his link out there.
Now, can I talk about the end of the month then, real quick, while you're typing?
Yes.
Okay, because what we're trying to do, folks, Mrs. takes you all the way up to December 20th. So most of my streaming will be random stuff, except a couple of these are the Battleship, and then the traditions will be my channel. But after that, probably will be also more impromptu streams and stuff like it's happened for many, many months. I'm trying to do the late nights on Friday at times. I'm still debating tonight, probably not tonight. But on New Year's Eve into New Year's Day, we're going to try it again. I fell by about 4 time zones last year. It's going to be ring into New Year's in every time zone around the world. So Mrs. is actually going to sit in with me officially this time. We're going to try to do a full 20. I think it's like 28 hours. It's not just 24. It's weird how the math works. To
Right.
do it, it's more than 24 hours. So just want to say, hey, make plans to pop in on that stream or series of stream, however we have to break it up for YouTube. But hey, I'm looking forward to it. Miss today. So,
And if I'm involved, it's going to be crazy because you know how I am with my PowerPoints.
oh yeah, and Euclid.
I'll be doing some research beforehand. The week after when the
Yep.
20th is done, uh,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm going to have a lot of scheduled streams.
Yep.
The actual week of Christmas, we have hopefully our
Thank you
oldest
for
is
the
going to
sub,
be coming
Daisy.
in,
So, mm-hmm.
um, and oh, thank you, Daisy, for going over there and subbing.
Yep.
And so I really do. want to take a little break because I tell you, I thought these doing these movies would be kind of easy. Um, it's become they're fun, but I'm
Mhm.
like, wow, I I
Yeah.
it's a lot more work than I thought, but
Hmm.
they're very fun, and I think it's real worth it. That's why I want to kind of get ahead of next year and get some stuff, you know,
Hmm.
going hopefully in advance. But I'm looking forward to doing the New Year's Eve celebration.
And I've got a few guests around the world. I'm hoping that will pop up at times, even
Nice.
for a few minutes. So maybe they help bring in different parts around the world. And of course, JT Kirk is already committed to coming in for a good bit, or at times. Because if you remember last year, JT Kirk and Dave C came in to save me. They helped cross through the Pacific time zone. Then I had to go to bed. So what I learned, Mrs., is get sleep the days leading up to it. It's
Yes.
like an athlete hydrating properly. You need to make
Yes.
sure you're up on your rest. So
Yes.
bring me. We might need a Canadian. Yeah, we might
We
do
can
that,
bring a
Stunning.
Canadian.
Exactly. So, but hey, looking forward to it.
I'm sorry, I'm typing
No. Oh
something
no.
in.
Okay. Sorry. I know. I get quiet when you're still typing. I know it's impossible
Yeah.
to talk and type, isn't it?
Well, this because I am typing an address and I want to make
Hmm.
sure it's
Right.
right.
Okay. Don't worry. You only got 3 minutes and 40 something seconds to
I
hitting
can't
two
believe
hours.
I really didn't think we'd get to this much, but so I think
Well, the selfish
uh,
promos help, but
yeah, the
still.
shameless
The
promos and
guys in the chat though, they got talking. You guys
yes,
rock out there.
and I like kind of sharing the stuff that we're going to do. Um, so yes, tomorrow at noon we will be doing um, that stream. So let's go ahead. It's almost been 2 hours here. Yes, please like and subscribe. I'm at 280 in my subscriptions. So I would love to get 20 more before the end of the year. That would be
Hmm.
fantastic. So maybe we can do that. I get like 281 or 280, then it drops down to 279. It's extremely frustrating, but we will figure it out. So you got some fake snow spray that you'll use on your tree to make it look all fancy schmancy. You're just a fancy schmancy guy. We buy a pink one so it doesn't have to look real.
Yes, it's nice and pink, hot
Yes.
pink, and it's got silver tinsel and
It's hot pink
white
with
lights.
silver garland, with
Oh, Garland, yeah,
and we used multicolored Mardi Gras beads to make the garland. And on top, we have an old Chinese paper lantern with an octopus on top of it. That's our
yeah.
top of our tree. Yes, flocking it, flocking, flocking it.
What? Huh?
No, it does not have a unicorn horn instead of a star. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, but
I need to
what
find
is
a horse.
flocking?
That's putting the snow on it.
Oh, I didn't know
So,
there was a word for putting. I just call it putting on snow. Interesting.
yes, putting on fake
Yeah.
snow.
See, unicorn horn. Actually, we got a unicorn head we could put on it.
The tree's too small. It would envelop the entire tree almost.
Yeah, maybe carry it
Yeah.
over. So, oh yeah, Dave, maybe a box of unicorn flakes.
Oh no, no. Oh, it'd be fun though if we could make fake ones and have put it all on it. That would have been real
You
fun. Maybe
could, yeah.
go flock yourself, Stunning. Go flock yourself. So everybody,
Mrs. You only have 90 seconds, so go
okay.
see if you can.
So
Go
if you
ahead.
guys would like to help support me, you can at buy me a cup of coffee at coffee.com, Mrs. Dadman Walking 55. And there's the link in the chat if you'd like to. We have a couple people that do monthly donations, and I thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. Or you can go to my creator wish list, which is throne.com at the same address, Mrs. Dadman Walking 55. You want to mail us something, and by us, I mean me, Dadman Walking 55, or Angela, my youngest, who's a streamer on Twitch. You can at P.O. Box 26603, Jacksonville, Florida, 32226. Streams and VODs. My YouTube is at Mrs. Dadman Walking 55, and my Twitch is at Mrs. Dadman Walking, no punctuation, no numbers. Dadman's YouTube and Twitch both are Dadman Walking 55. I keep forgetting to put your slide in. Um,
Mm,
our social medias. Can you need to take that out so we can see it? My Twix is at M
sorry.
Dadman Walking. Dadman's Twix is Dadman Walking 55. He does not have threads or Discord, so these are just mine. Mrs. Dadman Walking 55 is threads. Discord is Mrs. Dadman Walking. Both of those have no punctuation. If you would like to join my server on my Discord, go over, send me a friend invite. I will accept that friend request. Send me a friend request. I will accept that friend request and I will send you an invite to my server. If you want to be part of the server, accept the friend request, join. If you don't want to become part of the server, don't join the server. I just send it to everybody that does a friend request because I don't know if you want to be part of the server or not. So I believe that is all we have. Devin, do you have anything else that you would like to say before we say
Um,
goodbye?
I might either go live way late tonight or at least a few times tomorrow between stuff getting ready for unicorn. What the hell? Unicorn. To either OG Fortnite or do just some talking or something. But we'll see. But hey, I appreciate everybody coming in to supporting these streams. Please get the word out to more people, and we will definitely keep this a lot of fun. Leading up to 12 movies of Christmas misses. We're 25% of the way now. How about that?
Awesome.
So,
Awesome, awesome. So Tina never thought to hear unicorn head when it comes to Christmas trees. And Buddy, yeah, it didn't work, did it? He added the E in to avoid possible perversion. LOL. It just didn't work, Buddy. You just need to just sometimes just accept that it might go that way, and hopefully we can rein it back. So yeah. And Sunny says, I think next year I'm going to make a little Cybertron for my tree instead of a star. Don't think I'll have time to make one this year, though. Oh, yeah, you
mm,
can go for it. And
dang.
Fallout Dave says, a unicorn head on a tree is better than a horse head in your bed. Yes.
I
Yes.
guess I could be a horse's ass sometimes.
Yes.
I
Well,
couldn't.
that
I
is a
couldn't resist that
classic.
one.
Yes, 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 yes. So
Mm,
everyone, it's been a little over 2 hours
you
of
did
the
it.
stream. It's 10 o'clock in our neck of the woods, which is the East Coast of the United States. And I thank each and every one of you for being here. I thank the 9 people that are still hanging out in YouTube. And so, on that note, I will say, see you next time. Remember to be kind, show love, that you're not promised tomorrow. So, go to bed with no regrets. And most of all, I wish you peace. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is in your neck of the woods. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. And on that note, I'll say bye bye.
Bye, everybody.
See you next time.